Hi, I'm Deborah, and I'm happy that you're joining me for Pilates class today. It's March 31st, and we will start on the floor. The things that you do need for class today are a small ball. I like these very squishy ones. It's about 5 inches in diameter. You could use one that's a little bit larger or smaller. And fortunately, you can find small balls in the ball bin at your local grocery store in most places. So that kind of a ball is perfectly acceptable. The other thing that would be helpful to have today is a rubber band. This one's actually a little on the short side. It's about maybe 5 feet long. A longer one gives you a little bit more options, especially if you're a taller person. And you can also just use a strap or a belt, but if you're using a strap or a belt, you'll definitely want a good long one, about 6 feet long. So to start, we're going to be on the floor. And we usually start Pilates mat classes with just Pilates breathing. So you can come to lie down, and you can begin with your hands on your belly. As you inhale, fill the whole rib cage. And as you exhale, draw the belly in, exhaling out the mouth. Inhale, expand the ribs. Exhale, draw the belly in deeply. We'll do a few more breaths like this. So if you bring your hands to the pelvic bones, as you do this exhale and draw the belly in, you're thinking about drawing the two halves of the pelvis toward one another. So you're thinking about really drawing inward from the sides as well as the front. Deep breath in, fill the rib cage. Draw in, pelvis comes together. One more breath, just that. And then with the arms at the sides, we'll start with a little warm up of the shoulders. As you inhale, bring the arms overhead only to where you can without arching in the lower back. So for me today, my arms are floating off the floor a bit. And then exhale, draw in, arms come back to your sides. Press the shoulders, arms, and hands down into the mat. So we're activating the back of the arms and the shoulders. Inhale, arms come overhead. Not arching in the low back. Exhale, arms to your sides, and press shoulders, arms, and hands. Again, inhale overhead. Exhale, arms press. A couple more like this. Now we're adding on marching with the arms. So inhaling, the arms come overhead, your front ribs stay a little bit closed. As you exhale and bring the arms to the floor and press, fold one knee toward the chest. Inhale back down, arms come up. Exhale, arms down and press, fold the other knee in. We'll continue switching which knee folds in each time. So what we're doing with the lower part of the body is called marching. We're still drawing the belly in, still drawing the two halves of the pelvis toward one another. And you may also notice that your pelvic floor lifts a little bit as you do this exhale. Really strongly engaging the core. So as one knee folds in, again, we're trying to keep the pelvis as still as we can. So as the knee folds in, we're not tucking under, we're keeping the pelvis as it is. And as the foot comes down, we're not arching in the lower back, we're still keeping the pelvis neutral, bringing the foot back to the floor. I'll show that again. So as the knee comes in, we are not tucking under, we're just neutral. And as the foot comes down, we're not arching the lower back, we're keeping the pelvis stable, foot comes down. So continuing that, other side. Last one. Good. Bring your hands behind your head. As you exhale, curl up, stay up for the inhale. As you exhale, release back down, lengthening out the back of the neck as you go. Inhale, open the elbows. Exhale, elbows point up, tummy in, curling up. Inhaling back down, lengthening out the upper spine, back of the neck. Inhale, elbows open. Exhale, elbows up, curl up. Inhale, curling back down. One more like this, curling up, stay for the inhale. Exhale, release down. Inhale, open the elbows. And now just regular crunches. Curl up on the exhale. Inhale back down, but still keeping that idea of lengthening out the back of the neck. Curling up. Inhaling down. Tummy in. Filling the rib cage, lengthening the neck. So we'll add on to this. The next time you curl up, extend one leg long out from the knee. Inhale back down. Next time, other leg. Inhale down. Continue that side to side. One more. When you come down, bring your arms down to your sides and find your little ball. So have your ball under one hand and then pressing the hand a little bit into the ball so the elbow comes off the floor. Roll the ball down towards your foot so your shoulder comes further away from your ear, and then keeping the arms straight, roll the ball up so the shoulder comes closer to the ear. Roll down, roll up, So this is just a little bit more mobilizing the shoulder girdle. Inhaling up, exhaling down, still drawing in the belly. And the next time you roll down, stay there. On the exhale, press the hand down into the ball. Inhale, release. Exhale, press. And release. And press. So you'll feel this work in the back of the arm and the back of the shoulder. You might feel it down in your rib cage as well. And then rest the elbow. And on an exhale now, just squeeze the ball with your fingers. Inhale, release. Exhale, squeeze. And release. So if you have a more firm ball, this will be a harder exercise, but it will still accomplish a similar thing. So we're working the muscles in the forearm and the hands and the fingers. So see that you're doing this work with those muscles. I can feel my shoulder trying to activate and help with this work, but it's actually not a shoulder exercise. Last one here. And then we'll switch to the other side. So I'm just turning around so you can see. So the arm is long. The elbow's off the floor. As you exhale, we're rolling down toward the foot to start. And then rolling up toward the shoulder. So the shoulder moves away from the ear and back up toward the ear. A few times like this. Just mobilizing the shoulder. And then roll down and stay. And now on the exhale, press. Inhale, release. Exhale, press. And release. And press. Release. Two more. Last one. Rest the elbow and squeeze and release. Squeeze and release. And my cat is helping. You probably can see her. Squeeze and release. Squeeze, release. Holly, you're fun. She's always very helpful when we have a mat on the floor. And last one. Good. Just set the ball off to the side for the moment. Your feet are separated, just sit bone distance apart. So there's just a couple of inches between your feet, maybe 3 or 4 inches. Arms are at your sides. Inhale. And as you exhale, press shoulders, arms, and hands. Lift the pelvis up. Inhale here. Exhale, release back down, one vertebra at a time. Inhale. Exhale, left. Stay for the inhale. Think about opening the fronts of the hips equally. Exhale, back down. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Inhale here. Exhale, down. 2 more. Last one. Good. Fold the knees toward the chest as you inhale, stretch both feet toward the ceiling. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, stretch up. Fold in. And bring the feet back to the floor. And next, we're going to take the ball and we're going to bridge up and place the ball under the pelvis. So this goes under the bony part of the pelvis, not behind the waist. So this is giving us a little bit of a sensation of instability. So we're going to come back to marching, but now we have the ball here to make it a little more challenging. So we're still trying to keep the pelvis very still as we do these movements. The arms are here to help stabilize. And if you think about pressing the shoulders, arms, and hands into the floor, you'll activate the muscles on the back of the shoulders, which are the ones that help us to have better posture. So on the exhale, drawing in, floating one foot up off the floor. Inhale back down. Exhale, other foot. Inhale down. Side to side this way. One foot lifts, and then the other. So if you're a beginner at Pilates, this can be kind of challenging because your pelvis will want to roll around on the ball. It will feel like it's easy to tuck under and arch. And again, just because you're on a ball doesn't mean that arching and curling under are movements that we want to do. We're actually trying to stay very stable, not allowing those to happen. So side to side a couple more times. And then bring both feet off the floor. And now, still keeping this pelvic stability, as you inhale, reach one leg, exhale back in, inhale, reach the other leg, exhale back in, side to side this way. Reach, fold, reach, and fold, reach, and fold. Now, more challenging, reaching both legs. The feet are parallel. Inhale, bend. Exhale, reach. Now, you can reverse the breathing so that you're inhaling on the reach and exhaling as you bend in. I prefer reaching on the exhale because that's where the effort is. So I personally want to draw my abs in when I'm doing the work here. So I'm better able to stabilize, but some people have an experience of it being more stable to inhale on the reach. When you fold in, bring the heels together, toes apart, knees apart. From here, as you exhale, reach and inhale, bend. Reach and bend. Reach and bend. If you feel that reaching out at an angle, you're unable to maintain your pelvic stability, go higher with your reach. And over time, you'll develop more lower abdominal strength and you'll be able to reach out at more of an angle. Last one. Bring both feet to the floor. So we're going to keep the left foot on the floor, extend the right leg up to the ceiling for single leg circles. So we're going to start with small circles. So take the leg across the midline of the body, reach away, out to the side, and back up. So nice small circles. This is where we're going to work today. So keeping them small allows us to focus the work in the abdominals. And you'll feel the work crossing over from the oblique muscles on one side to the other side. And reverse, go the other direction. Out, away, across, and back up. Last one. Good. Other side. Right foot down, left leg up, circling across the midline, away, to the side, and back up. So if your abdominals are weak, you're going to feel that you're doing a lot of work with your arms. This is another thing that over time, as you develop more abdominal strength, you'll be working less with your arms to stabilize and more with your abdominals. And other way, side, away, across, and back up. Last one. Foot down. Take the ball away. Pelvis down. Inhale. As you exhale, take both knees to one side. Inhale, center. Other side on the exhale. Center on the inhale. And then roll to one side and come up to sit. So once you're sitting, take your rubber band or your strap, and we're going to come to sitting with the legs long with the strap or the band around the feet. So I'm using a band that has a fair bit of tension in it, so using a strap is going to give you a similar feel. If you're using a band that has light tension, it's not going to give you as much help, but it will build more strength. So we're going to start sitting up tall, doing some arm strengthening exercises. So if you don't have something that stretches, if you would rather just use weights for these exercises too, you may. And if you don't have weights, you can use water bottles that fit easily in your hands. So if you don't have those, go grab those now. So sitting up tall, keeping the arms straight, chest is lifted. As you exhale, tummy in and straight back, inhale forward. So if you're using weights rather than a rubber band, the work is going to be in a little bit different area. So rather than the back of the arm and the shoulder, it will be a little bit more in the top of the shoulder. So we're still drawing the belly in as we exhale and pull back. Last one. And then we're going to cross over. And you can do this even without a band or a weight or anything. It's just that you're going to get a little bit more work if you do use those. So now as you exhale, we're keeping the elbows close to the ribs, rotating outward. Inhale back to center. Exhale, rotate, and back to center. So with each exhale, drawing in, rotating up the arms out. The elbows stay close to the ribs. And the work again is right on the back of the shoulder where the arm attaches. Now we're going to change to rowing. So rowing, regardless of whether you're using a weight or no weights or a rubber band, starting palms down, as we exhale, we're drawing the elbows back, turning the palms up. Arms forward, palms down, and then drawing the elbows back, palms turn up. Inhale, exhale. Now, of course, it's possible to do these exercises a little bit faster, but generally, it's one movement, one breath. And we don't want anyone hyperventilating. Now we're going to add a little bit of a twist to this. So just taking one elbow back, twisting the spine around, and coming back to center. And then the other elbow draws back, twisting around and back to center. So something that often happens when people do this exercise is that they tend to lean back. And that makes it not so much of an abdominal exercise. It becomes more of a back exercise, which isn't a bad thing. It's just using different muscles. So here, if you think of yourself as being like one of those barber poles, where the barber pole just spirals around the center, that's the kind of turning that we're looking for. So the spine stays tall, we're rotating around our center, and our abdominal muscles are just kind of drawing in and then doing a little twist as we do that. So one more on each side. And then, if you were using weights, you can put those down. And now you will need your strap. So especially if you're new to Pilates, you will want a little support when you start into these exercises. Now I'm going to turn around again, mostly so you can see what's happening with my back as I do these exercises. So we're going to begin curling backwards. So the way we do this is we begin with drawing in, tucking the tail under, and getting as much rounding in the lower back as possible. So if all of our rounding is just happening in the upper back, we're kind of missing getting the abdominal work here. So if you're going through the abdominal muscles, segment by segment by segment, you will get much more rounding into the lower back. So I personally have quite a lot of lordosis, and I need to work at that very hard to get the sequencing through the lower abdominal muscles. So as we exhale, we're tucking under, we're drawing in, we're rounding into the low back, going halfway back. Inhale, exhale, tummy in, rounding forward, and then stacking back up one vertebra at a time. Shoulders stay open as you do this. Exhale, tail tucks, Curling back halfway. Inhale, round forward on the exhale, and stack back up. Again, curling back halfway. Inhale, exhale, round forward, stack up. Again. Now the next time we curl back, once you're halfway back, twist to one side, back to center, twist to the other side, back to center, round forward. Inhale, stack up. This time we'll start on the other side. So if you went right first, this time turn left. And other side. And round forward. Again, starting with the other side this time. Rounding forward, stacking up. Again, changing which side you start with. So we'll do one more time on each side, twisting, other side, center, curl up, stack up, and last one, starting with the other side. Good. Okay, so we're now going to come to all fours. And in all fours position, if you have knees that are uncomfortable being on the floor, please fold up a blanket or a towel or something like that and put under your knees. I have a nice carpet here on the floor, so this should be fine for me. So we're coming to all fours. Now, again, this thing that we did before where we were, and I'll tuck when you're facing the other way. So we're drawing the abs in, rounding the lower back as much as we can. So the upper back may round as well, but it's not our intention to round the upper back. If we're drawing in and rounding the lower back, there's a little bit of natural rounding that's in the upper spine anyway, so it appears that we're rounding there, but that is not the intention of what we're doing. So this is similar to a cat and cow in yoga, but we're doing it with more of a Pilates approach. So on all fours, the other thing is you want to make sure you're not hanging in your shoulders. You need to press the floor away so your shoulder blades spread apart on your back. And your shoulders aren't up around your ears, they're away from the ears. So we're pressing, spreading the shoulder blades apart, shoulders away from the ears. Inhale here with the straight spine as you exhale, tummy in, tuck the tail. Round into the lower back, drop the head down. Inhale, come back to a long spine. So we're not arching, we're just coming to a flat back position. Exhale, tail tucks, head drops down. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, rounding, lower back. Something more like this. Once you come back to neutral, sit back and take a little rest here. This is called shell stretch in Pilates or child pose in yoga. And then come back to all fours. We're going to send the right leg long behind us. And from here, what we're going to pay attention to is the standing leg. So let me see if I can get here where you can see my standing leg. So once we put one leg long, there's a tendency to kind of list off to one side. And if you look at this thigh, you can see it's leaning in a direction. So we're going to stabilize in such a way that we're trying to keep this leg straight up and down, perpendicular to the floor as we do a lift and a lower. So check in with that standing leg. Make sure it's straight up and down, lifting and lowering. Last one. Bring the knee under you, sit back again for a couple breaths. And then we'll do the other side. So again, making sure you're not hanging in the shoulders, you're pressing away from the floor, shoulders away from the ears, neck is long, left leg long. Standing thigh, straight up and down. So take a look. Are you leaning off to the side or are you straight up and down? From here, keep the spine long, exhale, lift, inhale, lower, up and down. Check in, see if you're leaning. This can change very quickly if you're not paying attention. Hey, Bobby. Good. Knee down, sit back. Couple of breaths. So just one more exercise here. We're going to start with the right leg long. We're going to take the left arm forward, fingertips to the floor. From here, lift and stay. We're just going to stay for a couple of breaths. See that that standing thigh is straight up and down. And lower back down. Bring that hand and knee back under you, square up. Left leg long, right arm forward. And lift and stay and balance. And if you saw that, I shifted over and I came back to perpendicular. Hand down, knee down, sit back. And come up to stand. So we're going to start with just a Pilates roll down. I'm actually going to back up a bit further so you can see my arms. You won't quite be able to see my feet until I move the screen down. So again, we're thinking about rounding into the lower back. I'm going to show taking the arms overhead. However, if your back tends to be problematic, you may want to not take the arms overhead because it does create a fair bit of work in the back as we move through this. So with or without the arms, inhale. And as you exhale, tuck the chin. Begin rounding the spine down, one vertebra at a time. Rounding into the lower back. Come all the way down wherever your body allows. Inhale here. And as you exhale, draw the belly in, the tail tucks under, stacking the spine up one vertebra at a time. The upper arm bones go into their sockets and still stacking up, the arms come up and the arms come down. So usually where you really feel this work of having the arms up is on the way back up, if you're actually keeping the upper arm bones set into their sockets. So we'll do this again. Inhale, arms up or not. Exhale, chin tucks, tummy drawing in to support the back, sequencing through the spine. You may need to take an extra breath to get all the way down through the spine. The knees can be bent a little bit. Inhale, exhale, tail tucks, drawing in the belly, stacking up. Upper arm bones set into their sockets if you're doing the arms. All the way up. Inhale. Arms down on the exhale. We'll do one more. Inhale. Chin tucks, tummy in, sequencing through the spine all the way down. Inhale. Exhale, tail tucks, lower back rounds, setting the upper arm bones, stacking up. Inhale tall, arms down on the exhale. So we're going to come back down to the floor. Last week we did do a standing foot sequence, but we'll do something a little different today. So since we have our ball, we're going to come back to some of these exercises that we just did, but we're going to have one hand on top of the ball as we do this. So starting with the right hand on the ball, send the left leg back, check in, make sure your standing thigh is straight up and down. Keep the hand on the ball, exhale, lift that long leg and down. Exhale, lift, inhale, lower, and lift, and lower, lift, and lower, lift, and lower. Two more. And knee down, switch sides. Left arm forward, right leg back. Standing thigh stays straight up and down. Lift and lower. Last one. Good. And we're going to come to lie down on one side. We're going to start in clam position. So the knees are stacked, the feet are also stacked, knees are bent. And we're coming to lie all the way down on the floor. However, the waist is lifted up away from the floor. As we exhale, we're lifting the top knee, the feet stay together. Inhale down, exhale lift, inhale lower. So the work here is on the outside of the hip, lift and lower. So since the legs are big and they have big strong muscles, we often do more repetitions of exercises with legs than we do with other parts. Take the top leg long. So keeping that leg long, foot is parallel to the floor, not turned out, but parallel. Still having the waist lifted away from the mat. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Now, if you bring your top hand to the side of your waist, and if you feel that you're lifting the leg with your waist, try to prevent that from happening. Make the lift happen at the hip joint. That should be the place where the creases happen. And after this one, take a little rest. The leg can come all the way down. And then lift again. And take the leg forward, reaching through the heel. Point the toes, reach to the back, and forward, and back, and forward, and back. Just a few more. And again, this movement should be coming from the hip joint, not from the waist. There will be activity here, but the movement should not be from there. Last one, and rest. Take your ankle, stretch the thigh. And then we'll take our little ball. This is just a little relief thing I like to do. The underneath leg can go long. The top knee goes on the ball. We're just going to do little circles here. So now the hip can move in whatever way it needs to, and then circle the other way. As you can see, our cat does not need an exercise regime. And we'll do the other side. So we'll start with plant position. Knees bent, stacked. Feet stacked. Waist lifted away from the floor. And feet stay together, top knee lifts. And down. Exhale, inhale. Last one, take the leg long, foot parallel to the floor. And again, just check, make sure that the lift is coming from the hip joint, not from the waist. Reaching the leg long out of the socket. The waist is lifted up away from the mat. Two more. And rest. And then lift the leg, reaching out of the hip socket. Reach the heel forward, and the toes point to the back. Heel forward, toes back. Again, the movement should be coming from the hip, not from the waist. Last one, forward and back. And rest. Reach back for the ankle. You can relax now. Stretch the thigh. And then the underneath leg goes straight. The top knee goes on the ball. And do a little circling here, forward. And other leg. And come to sit. So we have one more little abdominal series. And these are traditionally done with the feet flat, the knees parallel. However, for some people who have hip restrictions, that position may cause a lot of tension or discomfort. So, and the other thing that happens if we use this other knee position is that it kind of takes the hip flexors out of the equation and makes you use your abdominals a little bit more. So if you prefer the diamond legs, please do that. If you need to have something under your legs for support, you can roll up a towel or a blanket for that. We're going to use our little ball. You don't actually have to have it. If you would prefer to use a weight, it adds a little more intensity to what we're doing. So we're starting holding the ball. As we exhale, we draw the belly in, tuck the tail, round into the lower back. Inhale, exhale, curl back up. Inhale, tall. So as we're curling back, the arms will go long. The ball doesn't really move in space. And exhale back up. Again, curling back, moving away from the ball. And curling up. Next time we curl back, we're going to take one arm out to the side, sweeping back and come back up, and then we switch hands. So we turn to the other side, sweeping back and come back up. And switch, curl back, sweep, come back up. Other side, curl back, sweep, and come back up. Again, switch. Switch. One more on each side. And if you're not already in diamond position, take your knees out to the sides. We're just going to take a little stretch forward, relieving whatever tension might have built up in the thighs. And we have just one more exercise in this position. So again, diamond legs or parallel legs. As you exhale, curl back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower and curl back up. Inhale, tall. Exhale, curl back. Lift and lower. Up. 3 more. Two more. Last one. Come to lie down. Feet again are separated sit bone distance apart, parallel. Arms at your sides. Inhale here. Exhale. Press the feet, press the shoulders, arms and hands. Lift up. Stay. Inhale. Exhale. Up and down. Again. Exhaling, lift, pressing. stay. Exhale back down. One more, lifting up. Exhale down. Pull the knees to the chest. Inhale, stretch the legs up. Exhale, hold the knees in. Stretch up. Hold in. One more. And then take your ball. We will again place it under the pelvis. And take one leg long. So depending on the height of your ball, this may be very intense as a stretch on the front of the thigh. So if it's too much to have the leg all the way out long, just stop wherever your body needs to. And breathe. Just hold the stretch. Slide the foot back in and send the other leg long. And again, stopping where you need to for your own comfort level. If your ball is too big for these stretches, you can also use a folded or rolled up blanket or a pillow. Something that gives you a little extra stretch, but it's not so intense that it's painful. And slide that foot back in. Lift the pelvis, take your ball away or whatever you're using. Roll to one side. Come up to sit. And take a wide V. So for some people this is uncomfortable to sit this way. You can, of course, put a block or a folded blanket under your bottom. Inhale here, and as you exhale, slide your hands down your legs. Inhale, stay here, exhale. Inhale, slide back up to sit. Again, exhale, fold forward, stay for an inhale and an exhale. Inhale, slide back up. And one more time. Slide back up on the inhale. One arm up, side bend over, stay for the inhale, stretch, and exhale back up. Other side, inhale. Side bend over, inhale, exhale back up, inhale, other arm, side bend, stay for the inhale, exhale up, other side, side bend over, inhale, stretch, exhale back up. And thank you for watching my video today. And if you're interested, there will be other videos here: chair yoga, Vini yoga, regular yoga class, sound or sleep system. So please check back regularly. I'm happy to be doing these classes with you. Have a great day.